Hello everyone, this is Vivian, and today I have a question for you. Do you think I'm sparkly enough right now? Because I'm not sure, right? But anyway, no, like seriously, what I actually wanted to discuss today was because it's the end of the year. So it's sort of a time of reflection for many, I think. And I see when I go on Facebook, I've been seeing the past couple of days like people posting what they did in 2021, like listing all of their accomplishments. So I just wanted to talk about that, like, you know, um just that you should be proud of all that you've accomplished, because I know, like, for myself at least, I feel like I didn't really do that much, but then, like, when I really think about it, I did. And I don't mean like in a material sense necessarily, not just in a material sense. I mean like much more so what you accomplished in terms of, all your personal growth and the work that you've done on yourself, and perhaps changes you've made in your life, whether that's changes to habits or changes to your ways of thinking or your thought patterns. I feel like we all must have accomplished more than we realized. So I think that, it's good to perhaps really think about it for yourself, what you've accomplished throughout the past year. And, yeah, just make a list for yourself and reflect on it and be proud of yourself and how far you've come. And it doesn't have to be just what you accomplished this year. What did you accomplish within the past 2 years? How have you changed? How have you changed since 2020? Two years ago, or how have you changed from 3 years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago? Because I'm pretty sure that you have changed and grown a lot. That we all have, hopefully. I know that I have. So, like, I'm not gonna, necessarily list everything that I've done and how I've changed, but, that's for myself to know. And that's, for you, I think it's good because I've been feeling a lot of stagnant energy the past year. And so that's why that's kind of made me feel like I, haven't maybe really done as much. I've been in this, like, you know, dense fog of depression and everything because of everything going on. And I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about when I say all the things that are going on, that it's really depressing as fuck. But, like, I'm going to try to do my best to make this a more positive video, because that was my intention, to sort of make it a more positive video, hopefully. But, it might not seem like it. Like, I know this might be hard for people to believe, like, when they see me, they look at me and everything. And but I've struggled a lot in my past, and also within this past year, and I mean even today, with suicidal ideation. So yeah, just like, the depression is real. It's like, and it's not something that you can take a pill for. I have never once taken any prescription medications for anything like that. No psychotropic drugs ever, or no drugs really, period. Whether it comes to, I don't know, like illicit drugs, or pharmaceuticals. I haven't done that. But yeah, because I know for a fact that would make things much worse for me. And I just, I like to know what I'm doing. I like to be in control of myself and my actions and be responsible for my actions. So I personally cannot have some substance controlling me, essentially. Um, and I think a lot of you might be familiar with um, the whole concept of entity attachments, and for when people, when they consume a lot of alcohol or drugs, whether, again, doesn't matter which kind of drugs, just because pharmaceuticals are drugs too. So, and because they're not fully in control of their vessel or their flesh temple, they have something else take over, another entity, and generally not a positive one, and then the entity influences them. And I'm not gonna like really get into that because I don't have necessarily experience with that, but I have pretty recently, in October actually, I had an attack. Whether you want to believe me or not, I had a negative entity attack while I was sleeping in like the middle. It was sometime in the middle of October, and it was not something that I had ever remembered experiencing before. But yeah, so I don't really want to get into that, but I know for a fact that these things are real, and I've seen it. You can see it when, just like, let's take alcohol for an example, because even though that is a serious drug, people don't think of that. And we have New Year's Eve coming up, and a lot of people like to get completely drunk for that. And even though, they're celebrating, and I just don't like, see, I understand the concept of drinking to drown your sorrows and your worries. Not that that's necessarily good, right? It's not good. Like, I can see that. I can understand that, understand that. But I don't get why people like to drink to celebrate. So, because a lot of times they drink to excess, and like they're not fully conscious of what's going on, even though they're supposed to be having a good time, like a good fun time, and they're not they are not fully conscious when they're drinking so much alcohol, right? They, a lot of times, they don't remember what they did the next day. They don't remember, and it's like, why? I thought you were having fun. I mean, I see that, I just don't really understand. I never understood that. Yeah, so yeah, again, if you I've had some newer people on my channel, people who subscribed recently, so maybe they haven't seen some of my previous videos, but I talked, I think, in maybe one or two of my earlier videos, how I'm a highly sensitive person. So like, and that's not a joke, like I'm not able to tolerate such harsh substances, never could. So that's out of the question for me, period. And that's why I never got into any of that stuff. So yeah, but anyway, what was I saying? Well, yeah, the past year for me has been yeah, it's been, wow, like a lot has happened, and at the same time hasn't. So I don't know who else feels the same way, but like, I wanted to make this video because I was, I honestly wasn't even planning on making a video now. I was going to wait until January, sometime in January, because, I've had other things going on, and I just wasn't necessarily in the mood to make a video. But like, for the past few nights I haven't really been able to sleep, and like this topic has been on my mind of like, you know, being proud of all you've accomplished. And, you know, not just for myself, but like I felt that somebody needed to hear this. Someone somewhere who may be coming across my video needed to hear the message of that you should be proud of all you've accomplished. And when you reflect and look back on it, you'll see how far you've come. Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on this as well. Like obviously I dress up for my videos. I do dress up in my real life. Like that really is my style. I don't just dress up for my videos. And you know, I have to dress up for my job too. But like today I'm obviously very sparkly. The sparklier the better, right? It's never sparkly enough. But that's part of the thing. Like for me, dressing up makes me feel better. And it does so without any harmful negative effects that substances would have. Yeah, so I guess we all could have different things that would make us feel better, less depressed. That's one of them for me personally. But anyway, yeah, I just have felt like in the collective there's been a lot of depression, which has been affecting my personal feelings of depression and making it more like, you know, because part of being a highly sensitive person is being an empath, and like you can sense other people's energy and feel it, and that affects you. And for those of you who, I feel like a lot of you totally understand what I'm talking about, and you know, and you've experienced it for yourself. But if you don't, you're lucky, honestly, because it's not, most of the time it's not fun at all. It's not fun. So yeah, there's that. I'm just gonna take a sip of my tea. It's still warm. Today I have, what do I have? I have ginger and chamomile, of course. I feel like I always do, because right now it's what, like almost 2 a.m. here while I'm filming this. So, you know, nice relaxing tea, chamomile, ginger, and also I have a third one, which is like a seasonal vanilla peppermint blend. It's good, and they're good together. Yeah, but so yeah, I definitely feel that a lot of people who, at least who watch my videos or are subscribed to my channel, or maybe coming across my videos somehow, like who the fuck knows how the YouTube algorithm works. That shit's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about when I sometimes go into the YouTube studio and see like the top search terms for me, like for my videos, and like how people find my stuff. It's like a little bit scary. But and it's yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so it's late, but that's when I usually do my videos. I mean, sometimes I do them a little bit earlier, but it has been a while since I've done a video of just me talking and not doing a performance. Although I like doing the performance videos too. In many ways, the just talking off the cuff videos for me are much more difficult to do, especially when I, like, you know, like I don't have a script ever for the ones where I'm just talking. And like I occasionally make notes for them, but most of the time I don't. So I'm just going off the top of my head. And it can be difficult, especially when it's, it's quite late and I'm a bit tired. But like I said, I felt like this message needed to get out there, that you have done more than you think you did. Like I guarantee you, I absolutely guarantee you that you have all done far more than you think you did if you really take a look and think about it. So maybe you thought you were going to write the next great American novel and you didn't. But that's totally okay, because I'm sure that you did some other really amazing things. And perhaps one of those things, for probably at least most people subscribe to my channel, I'm assuming, is that most of you did not succumb to the needle agenda. That one, the needle in the arm. There's a needle in a haystack. This is the needle in the arm agenda. And yeah, so I'm assuming that at least most of you did not do that and did not succumb to the pressure. And so honestly, that in and of itself is an accomplishment. The fact that you can see that it's a bunch of lies being, you're being propagandized. We're all being propagandized with a bunch of lies going on 2 years now. And the fact that, you haven't done that, and you're not going to, no matter what, you're sticking to what you believe is right, what is right. And, you don't do peer pressure with this. You're doing your own thing. And that's really actually a huge accomplishment in and of itself, because I've talked about this in some of my previous videos. I know I talked about this in my the Halloween video, the one with the green witch, the costume. It's called, what is it called? So Much Evil and Fear, right? I think that's what it's called. But I talked about how one of my friends, who was actually totally against this, she finally got, caved into the pressure at her job, being a New York City employee. She did this back in October, shortly before Halloween, and she had already, by this time now, she had already gotten her second one. And, they're just going to keep requiring more and more. And so she's, by the way, really not happy about it, but she did it, and it was ultimately her choice to do so. And like, it's good that she sees that it was bad, but it's also really bad that she was essentially like, sort of, she let herself be coerced, and that's terrible. But yeah, the fact that we're all still here, still standing after like 2 years of this shit, that's an accomplishment too. The fact that I didn't self-terminate by this point is, I'm here, right? I'm here. You're here, thankfully. You're watching this video, so you're here. It's a serious topic, but I am trying to sort of make light of it because it is so serious, and I don't really want to go there right now in this video. But yeah, it's just been a lot. So We've all been severely traumatized by what's going on. It's psychological torture with, like, taking things away, then giving a little bit back, a little bit back, and then, oh, no, never mind. You can't have that. You can't take it all back, all back. So, yeah, that's where we are. Yeah, but so one of the things for me that helps me is definitely staying creative, which is why I have done some performance videos for my YouTube channel. I also stay creative in other ways that where I don't necessarily make videos of it for my channel for YouTube, but yeah, and yeah, I find that staying creative really helps. So, you know what? If you even are still a creative person in any way, shape, or form in this day and age, I believe, again, that in and of itself is also a big accomplishment, because I feel like creativity has been just, I feel like it's been sort of siphoned away from people. Like, personally, I feel like my creativity has been siphoned away from me more, as opposed to when I was young. When I was younger, I was like super creative, like, and not afraid to be creative. And like, as you get older, the society, it like sucks your energy away from you. And like in a lot of ways, and the creativity is one of the things that, like, a lot of times I feel like creativity is not valued in our society. It's a lot of times monetarily and financially not valued. Like, there's the whole stereotype of the starving artist. And the arts, like, I know from firsthand experience, like, I'm not saying I'm by any means a starving artist, but I know that being in the arts is not as glamorous as it might sometimes seem, or as glamorous as I might sometimes make it seem. But yeah. Mhm. So yeah, creativity helps me, glamour helps me to stay more positive and be less depressed about things. Also, just like another thing, so I've come to realize that self-love is really super important. And I didn't just come to realize that within the past year. I've come into that, like, a few years ago, and I've grown into more and more self-love over the years. But within the past year, I've I've really, developed my self-love so much, like, and everyone else should, like, you all should, because you're amazing, I'm amazing, we're all amazing, and we should all love ourselves and embrace our amazingness. So, and it's not arrogant or narcissistic to say that. It's necessary, because you know everything in this world is just all gearing you towards all this self-hate and negativity towards yourself, negative self-talk all the time, like, you're blah blah blah, not this enough, not that enough, blah blah blah, all of this shit. And it's all not true at all. So you should really acknowledge how amazing you are. And you don't need validation from other people. So, like, that's the thing. Like, when, like, I really appreciate all the nice comments that I get from people on my videos. That's really nice. And I'm really thankful for them and for you taking the time to watch my videos and then comment and share your thoughts. But we have to try to not be as affected by other people's, like, basically their thoughts of us, or what they say to us about ourselves. So, because, like, a lot of times when I receive a compliment, I'm like, aw, shucks, like, I mean, I really am like, I'm not going to say that in the comment. I usually just, say thank you and then say what's relevant to what the comment says. But, like, it really is. It's like, aw, it's like, it's sweet. It's like, aw. But, we can't be that affected by that, because what if someone says something negative, right? Yeah, like someone like insults you, personally attacks you, just comes at you with a bunch of negativity, and then you let yourself be affected by that too, because that's usually what happens. So we just have to, like, just hold space for ourselves, and just, our opinion of ourselves is the one that matters the most. Like, my opinion of myself is the one that matters the most, and your opinion of yourself is really the one that also matters the most in your case. So that's just my thoughts on that. But anyway, yeah, I know this video is very, like, all over the place and rambly, more so than usual, I think. But yeah, and it's that also is an accomplishment. Self-love is an accomplishment, and acknowledging your own self-worth and power is an accomplishment. And if you've achieved that, within the past year or the past couple of years, few years, or if you've come to that point and that realization based on experiences you've had in your past throughout your life, then that's, you should be proud of that. So, yeah, because, I know that I've worn, my little tiara in a couple of videos before, and, like, it's fun and everything. It's sort of like just for fun, but also, like, it's true, like, we all are that, like, hopefully, as long excuse me, as long as you acknowledge it for yourself and you're like, hell yeah, I'm the motherfucking queen, or I'm the motherfucking king, then yeah, like, you are. So, and you don't need a crown to, like, a physical crown or tiara to put on your head. It's just how you carry yourself, You just carry yourself that way throughout your day, throughout your life, throughout your interactions with other people. So, yeah, and again, that also is an accomplishment. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. So, yeah, I know for myself also within the past year, there has been, like, very minimal socializing compared to all previous years, even compared to 2020, because the early part of 2020, like from January through mid-March of 2020, I actually was around a lot of people, and like whether it was like for work or social situations. But this year, wow, it's been like hardly any. I mean, some, but so I don't really have a problem with that because, again, like if you watch my videos, you know that I'm an introvert and I like to spend time alone. So I don't need other people to have a good time. But it's just, when you're in that situation, it forces you to reflect on yourself and your life and your thoughts and your actions and all of that. And yeah, I've learned a lot about myself throughout the past year. And that I can actually get through things more than I thought I could, even if and when I have, negative thoughts about, you know, harming myself or whatever. But that I just want to say though about that. So when I was younger, like in my early 20s, and I had suicidal ideation, and that was more so like I felt really bad about myself, and that just, I was all of these horrible things and this and that, and not enough, and not good enough and whatever. But now it's not that at all. I don't think that I'm not good enough. I think I'm fine. Um I have a positive self-image and all of that, and good self-esteem and self-confidence, but like just the world is a fucking depressing hellhole, and I just a lot of times just want to remove myself from it. So that's I just wanted to clarify that about that, because I feel like some people, if I didn't clarify that, some people might comment, like, oh, like you shouldn't ever think that or do something, like you're great or whatever. Like, but it's not that. So I definitely wanted to say that. And I'm not gonna, like, I just want to also say that I've never actually attempted anything. I just, like, think about it a lot when I'm depressed. So nobody should worry. Like, just please don't worry. And I'm not encouraging anyone else to do that. Again, like I've never done that. It's just, what thoughts are even my own though, right? Or what thoughts are even your own when there's all these negative influences, outside influences, even through, all the frequencies that are used and the electromagnetic frequencies and all of that. And like, how much does that affect us and put us in a negative mood? And I know for myself, like, just when like the winter sets in, like the fall, winter, like, even though I really love October, as I said in my Halloween video, like in terms of aesthetically, like the leaves, the weather, my depression starts to get worse usually then. Like in the summer, it's good. Spring, summer is usually much better. And then, like, the fall and the winter, and like the long dark days and the really dreary and depressing weather that, at least that I experience where I live in New Jersey. And this past week the weather has been absolutely awful. It's just it feels like it just, yeah, it's terrible. I couldn't even go outside, and that obviously makes things worse. Something that does help me with that, I also want to say, is a light therapy lamp. One of those LED light lamps that you put on your desk, that it's supposed to sort of mimic the effects of sunlight. I know it's not quite that, and you're not gonna get exactly the same effects and benefits from that as you are from real sun exposure, but it does help. It helps improve my mood and my energy, although nothing like helps completely, because again, for myself, I know that I've had to make so many changes within the past year because of the field that I was in before, the performing arts field, and with acting and everything, and theater and all of that. And I really, for the most part, can't do that anymore. And they're only cranking down on more and more with all of the requirements and the restrictions and mandates and everything. And so, I really can't do that. I did a couple of things this year. Actually, last month I did a couple of things, but it's just a couple of little things, and yeah, it's not something that I can do all the time now because of everything, because I'm not sacrificing my body and soul for that, and my integrity. So, I've had to, that was never a question for me. It wasn't like, oh, should I get this thing injected into my body so that I can do this, this, and this? That was never a question for me. It was like just a hard no. Like hard no all around. But yeah. Yeah, it's just, I've had to change things and do other things, and yeah, be working from home because again, this might not be the case for everyone. It might depend where you live, but again, I live in New Jersey, and it's fucktarded here with that. Like, it's bad. Yeah, yeah. It's really bad with that. Like, I just went to the local Whole Foods the other day, and whew, it was very masky. Very masky. Everyone except for one other woman that I saw. And there were a lot of people there at this time. A lot of people. All with their muzzles on. All proud to have their muzzles on, obviously, I guess. Because you know what? These people, they are doing this because they want to, because we have no mandates here now for that. We do for health care facilities, but not for just being out in public in places like that, like stores, supermarkets, or anything like that. Nope, not yet. But so people are fucktards are gonna fucktard. That's what I've come to realize in the past year too. Fucktards are gonna fucktard hard. Yeah, it's not a fun realization either, because it's like, wow, when are people gonna actually realize the truth? But I guess they're not. So yeah, and again, if you are not doing that, if you are going out without a muzzle on, and you're doing that where there's like a sea of people and they're all doing that and they're expecting you to do it and they're giving you hateful looks and a bad attitude when you're not doing that, and you're still not doing that. So that's an accomplishment, and you should be proud of yourself, and I'm proud of you too. So actually, yeah, so for everything that I've said so far that I think is an accomplishment, I'm proud of you. Like, you might not even, we might not even know each other. And we might not even, talk to each other, have no idea. Like, I might have no idea who you are, and you might just be watching my video, but you don't really know me. But I'm just telling you, I'm proud of you. If you've done all of these things, these accomplishments, what I see as accomplishments. So yeah, and you don't need me to be proud of you. You don't need me to be proud of you. Like, it's totally good enough if you're proud of yourself. But maybe that gives you some encouragement. So, yeah. But yeah, so I do hope that people are doing as well as possible in these times. And yeah, I mean, it does feel like a darkness is just spreading. That's personally what it feels like to me, at least. That it's just like this darkness just coming in and like just penetrating into every space and every molecule and everything. And so yeah, but there is light and hope in the darkness, and we can all sparkle and shine bright. And I mean that sincerely, because we can, regardless of what we wear or don't wear. Like, this is, like I said, I struggle with some dark things, but this is how I feel on the inside. This is how my insides are. I don't necessarily mean my internal organs, but just like my being, my spirit is this. So might as well wear it, and you don't have to, of course. Everyone has their own thing. But I guarantee you that you are also the same or similar on the inside, or however you want to be. Maybe you don't want to be like this on the inside. It's however you want to be, So, yeah. I mean, we're going into 2022 and a new calendar year, and if I'm actually being honest, I never really liked New Year's. Like, it's nice to have a celebration, but it's also kind of, I don't know, it makes me kind of sort of sad and nostalgic when I reflect on the past year and like, oh, that's it. It's over. This year, at least in terms of the calendar, this year is no more. Moving on to a new one. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just a thought that I had. And so, yeah, 2022 is, we're heading straight into it. And, I can't predict the future and say what it's going to be like, but I have hope that we can overcome the darkness at least, you know, those of us who, you know, see what's going on, and we see the truth, and we're not taking a part in the what the masses are doing, and these ritual sacrifices. We're not doing that. We're not, you know, altering our bodies and minds and spirits with any kind of thingy in the arm, right? And yeah. So if I'm gonna be super honest, I know I said this was supposed to be a more positive video, and I think it's kind of a mix, but yeah, I have no hope for humanity as a whole anymore. I honestly didn't at the end of last year either. I maybe kind of did more than I do now. I was like, okay, you know, finally people are gonna like see this. They're gonna snap the fuck out of their gaze or their whatever brainwashing. Like, yeah, I mean, if you actually look into people's eyes and you see their gaze, I'd say that a lot of people are not home. The lights are on, but nobody's home. In a lot of cases of people that I've seen, unfortunately. Yeah, so I have no hope for humanity as a whole at this point. I do have hope for us, you know, for myself and for the people who watch my videos. You know, I know some of the people who are subscribed to my channel, not personally, not in person. I actually don't know anybody, have never actually met a single person who is subscribed to my channel, and I can't share my channel with people who I do know from my real life because they're not gonna get it, and they're you know, they're just not gonna get it. So, but I have hope for us. Okay, I do. For us as a whole, not humanity as a whole, because I think too many people are they're too far gone. So it's just, you know, whatever happens, and we will make it through. And you know, I've said this before in a previous video that I don't have any desire to live through an apocalyptic scenario, like a zombie apocalypse. But at least I'm gonna go down with integrity. So, like, you know, just no one is gonna do anything to me. No one is gonna do anything to you. We'll actually be fine. It will all be okay in the end. And yeah, you know, just do what you want, like, you know, do what you like to do. And yeah, make a list of what you have accomplished in the past year, because you know, you don't have to go on Facebook or whatever, or any social media. You don't have to like post about each thing that you feel you accomplished or did. It's really just for you to know. Unless you want to share that, you can actually share that with me. You can comment and share with me what you feel you accomplished. Like, that's cool. I'd be curious to know. I'd like to know. But yeah, the thing that bothers me about what I've been seeing on Facebook with people posting that is that it's really all materialistic stuff that they list. And although those things are good, and that stuff is also important in this world because we live in a materialistic as fuck world. So accomplishing material things, that is important, you know, but there are so many other things that we also need to focus on and work on and accomplish those things, which a lot of people don't even bother to think about. But I do think that a lot of people who, watch my channel or again could be coming across this video possibly, it's something that they probably think about. And yeah, let's not sell our souls for anything, okay? Because I know I'm not going to. So yeah, that's just my little talk. It's completely all over the place and probably a complete mess, but like, that's fine because I'm a total mess at this point. I was like, for absolutely no reason, earlier today, I was listening to some music on YouTube, like a playlist, and every song that came on, I was like, wow, I was like crying practically. I was like getting weepy and it's not even that time, if you know what I mean. It's not that time. So I'm like, what is going on? What the fuck? I don't want, okay, anyway. It's just one of those things that like it must be a collective energy that I'm feeling, that a lot of people must be in that sort of energy and that state. And I must have, yeah, must have been picking up on that because I was like, it didn't fully feel like all my own energy. So yeah, I was like, what is going on? Okay, but yeah, so I'm gonna take a sip of my tea and then I'm gonna read my tea bag tag quotes as I normally do. Okay, so the first one here says, master the unknown by knowing your deep self. That is very true, and that's essentially what I've been talking about in the video. There's a lot of things that we don't know. Like, you can call yourself a truther, a truth community, whatever the fuck. But okay, so here's the thing. Here's what pisses me off is when some truthers, like, or people in general, just they come out and it's like, oh my god, they know everything, right? Or they project that image, or they present themselves as like that they know everything, and like, how dare you question anything? Yeah, that you should absolutely avoid those kinds of people. If someone claims that they know everything, I'd run from that person. I'd be like, boy, bye, or girl, bye. Like, I'm out. So, yeah, you should know yourself first and foremost. You know, like, so forget about like the external world for a second. Like, you should actually go within yourself and reflect, and that's part of what writing the list of your accomplishments is about. Or you don't have to write a list. I'm not telling you what to do. Like, I guess that could help you. If you, because you have to, for me at least, when I have to write a list, I have to really think about it. I'm like, number one, what is it? And then write it down. And then 2, 3, 4, and it goes on and on. So, for myself, a lot of the times I just do things in my head, sort of. I do write things out too, but I just think for something like this, it could be more helpful for people to write it out. Yeah. So, okay, on to the next one. Trust is the question. Love is the solution. Okay, so if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I do have issues with trust, and it's very hard to trust people and even things. You can't even freaking trust the food these days. Like, it says organic. Is it really organic, or like, is it actually genetically modified and they just, they raised it organically without the use of chemical pesticides and whatnot? But, because I've seen like, produce where like it is labeled organic and then it looks genetically modified and just like whatever. I mean, I pretty much all organic, but yeah, it's like you can't even trust that. You have to read the ingredients on everything. I'm sorry to say, it's very hard to trust people. You should absolutely never trust the media and like the news, and just, I think you all know that by now, but yeah, you should trust yourself for sure. And so love is the solution. Love is important. Self-love for sure, like I said, and you should be loving towards other people, and work from your heart chakra, your love. That's like your your little love center in your flesh temple. But yeah, it's I know it can be hard to love people who are against you, as so many people are against people like myself, and probably people like you, with all that's going on and in the world. But love yourself above all. And I'm sure you know who you love in your own life besides yourself. Love them too. But I would say that trust and love are two different things, because I do love and I have loved people without necessarily fully trusting them. So that's just how it is. Okay. And the last one here, it says, let your thoughts give hope, guidance, and upliftment to all. So I hope that I was able to somewhat do that in this video, like at least somewhat. I don't know if I succeeded, because there was definitely some negative things in there, but I'm just trying to be real, So like, I'm not trying to present things as like all amazing when they're obviously not, when and a lot of people are probably like myself struggling mentally, emotionally, energetically. So, but yeah, I don't know if I should say Happy New Year again, because that's what does that really mean? We're turning the calendar, and the calendar says it's a new year. It's now going to be 2022. And so like, I mean, sure, I hope that the next 365 days are freaking amazing and fabulous. But I know that they probably won't all be as much as I can hope that they will be. We also have to be realistic. We experience ups and downs, and it's not going to be a new year, new me. It's, you are hopefully always evolving as you work on yourself and reflect and work through things. So, because I try to do that, I'm sure that you do too. And yeah, so this video has been way too long already and very rambly, but you know, I hope you got something out of it. And I've said what I needed to say and what I wanted to say. So thank you for watching, and you will see me next time.